Welcome to Who Wants to Be an Entrepreneur with Nancy Gaskins, inspiring, teaching everyday people how to create, fund, and live a life worth smiling and talking about. I believe one of the best ways to do this is by becoming an entrepreneur, owning and operating your own business. My name is Nancy Gaskins, and I'm your host. All our shows are recorded and archived so you can listen and learn online all year long, 24/7. You can find us on all your favorite social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and you're also invited to join us each Friday from 11:30 to 1 on Zoom, that's Central Standard Time, for our weekly Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday event. Come bring your elevator pitch, an irresistible offer, and earn as you learn how to grow your business through this exciting new economy called virtual marketplaces. The current COVID crisis was a wake-up call for many people. It showed us just how vulnerable we are if we're relying only on one stream of income. There's never been a better time than right now for you to dust off that dream to become an entrepreneur. Home-based business opportunities, work from home, multiple streams of income, all those things are really hot topics on Google search engines right now. Why? Because people are looking for options. They're looking for affordable options. So I've decided to do something just a little bit different this fall. That's why I've started this series, Who Wants to Be an Entrepreneur? I'm teaming up with a wide variety of everyday entrepreneurs. They can be aspiring, emerging, and seasoned entrepreneurs from around the globe. We'll be discussing their entrepreneurial journeys, the good, the bad, and the ugly. These are real people, folks, just like you and me, everyday people. They've agreed to share their stories in hopes of inspiring, encouraging every one of you who's listening to follow your entrepreneurial dreams. Now, one thing I'll tell you, it's not always sunshine and roses, and nor can we guarantee that you're going to make $1 million and put it in your bank account. But for most of us who have that true entrepreneurial spirit, it's a lifestyle that's full of potential and possibility, and there's absolutely no way that we can put a price tag on that. Now, during this series, I'm going to keep throwing these 4 stats at you because I want you to really grasp the opportunity that's before you today. Number 1, 48% of Americans have the dream to own and operate their own business. Number 2, 51% who launch are over 50 years of age. Number 3, 69% start their business from home. Number 4, the average startup is $10,000. Now, I want to elaborate just a couple of minutes on each one of those. If 48% of Americans have the dream to own and operate their own business, and we're known as the land of opportunity, I can assure you that the rest of the world is probably the same stat, if not higher, on wanting to achieve that dream. Now, that dream is going to look different for each one of them, but for most people, it's you want to, live a life that you can be proud of. The next stat, 51% who launch are over the 50 years of age. Why do you think that is? Half of the population wants to own and operate your own business, but most of us get caught up in the daily grind of life, having families and all of that stuff. We need that steady income. We lose that dream until one day we wake up, perhaps we're an empty nester, kids are gone away to college, and all of a sudden we say, you know what? It's time for self-actualization time. Now it's time for me to do something that's on my heart. And this is where it gets exciting, because then you can truly just cut loose and live out your dream. Number 3, 69% start their business from home. Why? It's affordable. It's great. You can start yourself from home. You got flexible hours, flexible schedule. You can write off so many things, having a home office and all of that. And you don't have to worry about a brick and mortar store, especially now that we have all of this online stuff going on. There has never been a better time to be an online entrepreneur. Last but not least, the average startup is $10,000. Although to some of you listening, that might not sound like a lot of money, but for the average American, it might as well be $1 million, because frankly, we stink at saving money, and this COVID crisis has taught all of us just how vulnerable we were. If you were one of those who couldn't wait to get that stimulus check in the mail, I'm talking to you. If those of you out there listening, you don't have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months set aside for an emergency, and you couldn't survive it and you were freaking out over this time, I'm talking to you. You need to do something. One of the ways that they pivoted was a lot of people became entrepreneurs. They didn't do it on purpose, but it was because they needed to keep their lights on, pay their bills and all of that stuff, and they wasn't able to go to work. So you really need to think about that. One of the things that my network is doing is we're going to be launching a grant program for startups. If you have a great business idea, please send that in to us, and it doesn't matter whether it's profit or nonprofit. We want to help you launch your business. One of the things that just killed me early on is I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm an idea generator. You and I could sit down and we could talk about business ideas for hours and come up with a jillion. But one of the things that I didn't know how to do was attract the money. I didn't know how to get investors. I didn't know how to do all those things. I was one of those people. That $10,000 just might as well have been $1 million to me because I couldn't do it. So I had, you know, tons of $1 million ideas and no way to bring that to fruition. So I don't want that to happen anymore. And that's one of my big dreams in my heart is I want to launch businesses all over this world, and I want my network to do that. So with that said, on today's episode, I am so thrilled for you to meet Juanita Gandara. Welcome, Juanita.
Thank you so much, Nancy, for this great opportunity.
I met her a few months back on one of the virtual marketplaces, and I absolutely fell in love with her, and you are going to meet her and her sidekick today, and I'm not going to spoil that just yet. So tell us a little bit about your bio, Juanita. Tell us where you came from and all that.
Yes, Nancy. Well, I was born in Ciudad Juárez, Chihuahua, Mexico, and I was raised by two very humble parents. They were also born, of course, in Mexico, and their dream for their children was for us to come to the United States, America, like they used to say, vamos America, you know, so that you can live your dream. And so I'm just very grateful to my parents for having been able to do that for us. And I am a retired school counselor. Of 20 years I was a school counselor, but then I was a bilingual teacher 10 years. So basically I also have, like you said, I'm an empty nester. I'm in my 50s. I know you're looking at me and saying, but you look so young. Oh, not really, that's a joke. But anyway, yeah, that's basically my story, and I'm here to make a positive difference in the world.
Well, that's amazing. Here we go. A great immigration story brought over to American. You already, golly, you got your degree. You went into education. You're already a huge success story, and now you're entering a second chapter of your life. And that is just amazing. And there's some people that, you know, sit around and have a pity party and feel sorry for me. And these kind of stories just absolutely just thrill my heart when I hear that, because folks, guess what? It is possible to do things the right way. Come to America and live the dream, create your own dream. So congratulations just on that.
Thank you, Nancy.
Take a few minutes and share your story. How did you decide to become an entrepreneur? How did you come up with it? I'm not going to say your current business, and what is your dream for your business?
Okay, well, excuse me, but I'm going to refer to my notes because I want to make sure I don't leave this part out. And how would you feel if I said, would you believe that I didn't plan on being an entrepreneur, much less being an author? I don't know how that sounds, but basically what I'm trying to tell you, for me, it was a miracle. You know, when you ask whoever it is you ask, like, what do I do with my life? And you get a big answer, and then before you know it, it's here. Well, that's what happened to me, Nancy. And you know what? That person that changed my life in a way is partially Dr. Mark Bowles. I met him over the phone, and you know, one day I'll tell you the story of how we met, but it was over the phone. And what I like to do now is I like to go around asking people these two questions. I say, would you consider writing a book? And they're like, I don't know. And they're like, okay, well, if you did, what would it be about? And what would you want to tell the whole world? That's how this started. And he asked me that. So now it's my mission in life to going around encouraging, empower, and educating whoever wants to be educated, whoever wants to believe that there is an opportunity to turn this very negative situation on bullying into a more positive one. And so with that having been said, I believe that everybody can be whatever they want to be. They just have to believe in themselves.
That is just amazing. And I hear that awful lot. I meet 50 to 75 new entrepreneurs each and every week. And you would be surprised how many will tell me that they just were accidental entrepreneurs. It was just one of those things, you know, the timing, and they say, what is that? The teacher will show up when the student is ready.
Yes.
You
That's
know,
exactly
sometimes,
right.
yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so here comes the exciting part. Tell us about your business.
Oh my
What
goodness.
is it that you do? Look at that fabulous background, first of all, folks. I'm sorry for
I
those of you who may be
Thank
listening on
you.
the podcast. She's got this cool background, so that means you have to go over to our YouTube channel and check it out just to see her background.
Okay, Nancy, thank you. Okay, you asked me, tell me about your business. Okay, well, this is what I want everybody to know. Today, I am a children's book author. I'm an educational consultant. I'm a founder of an anti-bullying program, and I help anyone who believes in helping turn a negative situation on bullying into a more positive one. You will hear me say that over and over. So in other words, I do encourage, I empower, and I educate all educators, students, parents, and community members who are willing to learn. And this is the catch, my 5 wows. What are they? Words of wisdom. Well, you're gonna have to visit zoilahthezebra.com to know more because it's a lot. But basically it is an SEL, social emotional learning, anti-bullying program. I call it short, simple, to the point way of making a difference. What happens is the parents do these 5 wows at home, and then the schools do them in school. And then look at this, the community does them over here, and I'm getting chills, and we all do them together. Now, is that doable? Heck yes. Having been a school counselor, I will tell you, there were many programs, wonderful programs out there, but nothing like short, simple, and to the point. And right now, I'm actually recruiting schools here in El Paso that want to be a pilot school. So first come, first serve. I've been reaching out, and I haven't heard back yet, but then I just started.
So, can I ask you, what did you have a bullying experience yourself, or did your family member or something like that? How did you come to be this anti-bullying person? How did you get involved in that? I haven't
Uh,
asked you that question before.
I am so glad you asked, Nancy, because I get that asked a lot. And again, it's from above. I'm just gonna say it, okay? That's one. But two, having been a school counselor for 20 years, can you imagine all the suicide outcries that I used to hear? I'm not saying all of them were because of bullying. A lot of them were. And so when I left and I retired, I always thought, now what are they gonna do without me? Yeah, right, like I was so important. Well, I was, because you know what?
Yes.
I got nicknamed the Bully Buster Counselor. And I asked the kids why they called me that. And they said, I miss because we know we can go to you and you'll help us. And so that's why, Nancy, I'm very passionate, because I know that it's very real. And I know that parents are so busy, they love their children, but sometimes they don't know what to do. And so that's why I created these 5 wows, so it would be something easy for everybody to understand. And so that's my passion behind it.
Oh, that's amazing. So, you want to
Thank
give
you.
us a little introduction to Zoila and then your books?
All right. Well, you know what? I will introduce Zoila in a moment, but let me show you the first book we wrote. And remember, I always like to give credit to Dr. Mark Bowles. A huge shout out to you, Dr. Mark Bowles in Ohio. Our first book was Zoila the Zebra's Wow, for Words of Wisdom. And I just explained to you what they mean. The second book just came out in January before COVID. And Nancy, I'm so glad I met you, because if I hadn't met you, this wouldn't be happening, and I wouldn't be able to even get my emotional to also, because I'll tell you right now, but How to Stop Armadillo Tears is the second book. And this book is about Armando the Armadillo, which is Zoila's best amigo. And he goes out into the playground. And because he's so different looking, I guess, he gets turned down a lot by other kids. And well, in this book, it's animals. And they tell him, you know what? No, we don't want to be your friend because look like a dinosaur. You're like weird looking pretty much. And you know what the book finally says is that then Zoila comes out, and he meets Zoila. Zoila sees him crying. That's why it's called How to Stop Armadillo Tears. And so she goes up to him and say, hey, Armadillo, what's wrong? And of course, she befriends him, and then she starts highlighting all his qualities. And when she starts doing this, guess what happens? She finds out that now everybody flocks back to Armando and they want to be his friend. But that's Good, isn't it? So that's what that book's about. And Nancy, you don't know this, but Dr. Mark Bowles and I are in the process of writing a third book. I haven't announced it because it's just happening as we speak. And I don't think I should mention the title yet. I think I'll wait. Is that okay?
That's
So I can
perfect.
keep you
I'm excited. I'm
Yes,
excited.
I'm excited too. It's
And
about
the other,
Armando and Zoila. I'll tell you that. It's about Armando and Zoila again. So
okay.
that's basically what I wanted to share with you.
Another thing that she has that I absolutely love is she's got these beautiful full color posters that goes along with that.
Yeah.
So anyways, those are a beautiful compliment to both of those books as well. And then she's got some more products that she'll be learning a little bit later on. But let's
Yes.
talk about if anybody out here, so you're talking educators, nonprofits, anybody who's dealing maybe with suicides. I know you've got with my friend David Triana over here that's local
Yes.
for
Thank you
me.
for that book up. They're
Yes. And
doing
so
great things in Florida now.
yes. So anybody out there who deals with bullying or the suicide with the teens or the kids or anything like that would be a great lead for Juanita. How are you looking for events, or tell me what you need from us? What would you like for us to do to book with you?
Very well. You can email me, first of all, at zoilazebra@gmail.com if you want any information on what we just shared. But mainly what I'd love for you to entertain, those of you out there, educators, parents, everything, I want you to consider hiring me to be a author visit virtually. That's what I'm doing nowadays, okay?
Okay.
But in those virtual author visits, I also have what are called parent workshops that I started doing right before COVID. So that got in the way, of course, for many of us. So I have those available. I was doing assembly style with my music and puppets because you see Armando and Zoila, they're here and they're puppets, but I won't take much time with that. Maybe next time, Nancy, but all that. And I do provide trainings for teachers, educators on this SEL program I'm talking about called Zoila's Words of Wisdom. I provide trainings for the parents as well. So whoever wants to be trained on helping turn a negative situation into a more positive one, that's me.
All right. And something I just thought of, I don't know if we could work this through or not, but just came to the top of my head. You know, I'm all about the ideas right
Oh
on the
gosh, you're
spot, so I'm going to
awesome.
go ahead and throw it out there.
Yes.
You might talk about going through the parent teacher organizations and get some sponsors to bring you in and let them do some fundraisers and some things like that. And I just, like I said, I know we have some similar things in our general area where we bring people in like yourself, and that might be something as well.
Thank you. Yes, that's a great idea. Anyway, there was a part that I got emotional. Can I go back to that really quick? Because it involves you,
Absolutely.
Nancy, and
Yes.
I need to give you the credit in the world. There was a question on here you asked, and I wrote something about you because I really believe that because I met you, I am where I am today. I think it's coming up. Never mind. No, you're going to ask me in a few minutes, I believe.
Now you're going to make me cry, wondering what you're going to say here. Oh,
Okay.
gosh.
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to, we've got your background. We know about Zoila the zebra. You want to give us a little brief introduction to her right quick? Just show it to us. Just come on.
Okay, I'm just
Come on.
gonna do
I'm dying.
I'm
You
gonna
can't.
do 5 seconds, okay? I promise.
Okay. We have
All right.
time.
All right, we do. Awesome. Let me turn on my little speaker. I'm glad you asked because I wasn't going to do it because she sort of kind of gets carried away sometimes, but that's just how she is, and either you love her or you don't. But she doesn't seem to mind if you don't because I think she's just very lovable anyway. So this is Zoila. Excuse the ads, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Here it comes. Okay, Zoila, here we go.
Elliot, great to meet you.
Ah.
We're just so happy to have you help us launch Mountain Dew Zero
Here we
Sugar.
go.
Me too, I'm excited.
All right, here we go. Zoila!
There she is, folks. Zoila the zebra and Miss Juanita.
Say thank you, Zoila. Aw, she's shy. So thank you all. She'll have to come on next time because we've got. I'm just so excited, Nancy. Sorry.
No, we love it. Love Zoila.
Yes.
So
Thank you.
let's get in the trenches a little bit and let's change our gears towards some of the things that you've learned. So what are some tips and advice that you'd like to give somebody interested in becoming an entrepreneur?
Simple. I know it sounds simple to me anyway, now that I've gone through this. So this is all you got to do. You just have to believe that you can, first of all, because if you don't believe you can, well, you're not. And in Spanish, I like to say que querer es poder. That's the same thing in English. And never quit, no matter how impossible it seems. If you can do those things, I promise you, you will have a successful business. That's basically it.
Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
what lessons have you learned? What's something that you know now that you wished you'd known sooner?
That's the part that I got ahead because I was thinking about this as I was looking at my notes. Okay, this is what I wrote. And I said, I wish I would have met Nancy Gaskins when I started. I have done it the hard way, the long way, the going to all the schools. And you know what? I didn't mind it. But I have done it without really knowing what to do. Now that I know what to do, I'm telling you all, and not because I know Nancy now, I didn't know about these virtual platforms, much less international platforms. Do you know what that means? That means I don't have to travel to go all the way to Canada. My book is out in Canada already, and it's in Florida, it's in Dallas, it's in all these places I would have never been able to do, especially now with a COVID. So I keep telling everyone that I'm not a business owner, that I'm just an educator and counselor with a caring heart. So if you have a caring heart and you have a passion for something, just go for it, go for it. But in other words, international platforms such as Nancy's is the way to go up the ladder quicker while creating friendships along the way. And you know, being an empty nester, do you know what your friendships mean to me? Oh my God, they created a logo for me called Zoila and Friends, and that wasn't even my idea. So thank you, Nancy, for real. I don't want to cry, so let's move on.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. And these are the great stories, folks, that you hear. And when you surround yourself with a team of eagles, people who genuinely love people and who really care about helping one another rise higher, go further, faster, this is the kind of stories that you get. And we are all genuine. You know, you don't belong to our tribe if you're not willing to help each other out, because
That's right.
we all believe that there's enough success to go around. And
That's
now,
it.
now, don't get me wrong. We're all about competition and all of that stuff,
Yes,
but
yes.
we'd rather cooperate so that we all win than one person take the cake and run away with it. So anyways, that is what we're about. And I'm so glad that you've experienced that, Juanita. And I'm really super glad and cannot wait to see all the places in the world that Zola the zebra is going to be traveling to, because, you know, we've got seven continents to get her traveling to.
Oh, Nancy.
And I believe that we could do it.
Yes,
So
we can. With your support and everybody's support out there, you know, all the networking friends that I have met, God bless you. I love you. And I'm here to support you as much as I can as well. So small businesses helping small businesses. And then
that's it. That's exactly right. So do you have any a special offer for our listeners today?
Oh my gosh, you better believe it. I've actually got 3 of them. Are you ready?
We are.
You can get an autographed book by myself, and I can mail it to you directly for only $15 plus shipping and handling, where if you go to Amazon, you get it for $20. My second offer is you can get one of our new Zoila's mouth coverings. I'm sorry I don't have one available. They're on their way. I am so excited. And they're only going to be $10. Again, the same thing, plus shipping and handling, which will probably be less than $1. And it's going to be only for $10 for adult and children. And the third thing I have available, you see my shirt, it's got bling bling, and it says Zoila's Wows and Bullies No More. Well, it gets better, you guys. Every time I create something new, and Daniel Rodriguez, a big shout out to him. He's the gentleman that's been helping me create a whole bunch of things on my, creative side. And so the logo that he's developed for me is going to include the new Zoila and Armando logo that we have going on, and you'll see it if you go to zoilazebra.com. And it's a new bling bling shirt, Nancy, and it's only going to be for $20, valued at $40. Why? Because we can at this time. We're just starting.
Love it, love it, love it. I cannot
Yes.
wait to get me a t-shirt and a mask.
Me
And again,
neither.
folks, here's one of those great examples of another pivot. You have an idea, you wonder about what kind of products. Okay, she's got a book, she's got her events going on. Now she can do virtual events, she can do training events online, all these different things. Well, what else for another product? You know, you sit here, now we have COVID going on, so she's got the face covering mask and she's got her little logos on top of there, and they're adorable. And one of the things my husband noticed, because he's got some of the issues, so we don't let him get out too much, you know, during this time, kind of limit his outings. But one of the things recently when he went to the store, he came back home and he said, this has turned into a fashion statement with all of these masks. He said, I was just noticing all these neat masks that folks were wearing. Yeah,
Right.
people were, you know, why have that boring, medical, ugly looking mask, you know, when you can have some of the other
Soy
ones.
mask. That's
That's
right.
exactly right. That's exactly right. So
And
I
Armando,
love,
keep leaving him out. Sorry, Armando.
yes,
Oh, this
yes.
is Armando. Armando's right here. Just want to peek.
Oh, looky
Hola.
there. Looky
Okay,
there.
Armando.
He's
Next time.
adorable.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I'll be putting all of her links and her contact information in the description.
Okay.
Do you have any closing statements before we get off of here today, Juanita?
No, just help us, please, to promote a chain reaction of kindness so there will be bullies no more. And guess where it starts? With us. If we can't change, nothing's going to change. So that's what I wanted to end it with. And just stay tuned on Facebook. If you follow me, we're having a great anti-bullying welcome back to school parade scheduled on August the 8th. And Nancy, I hadn't told you either. We haven't talked. At 10 a.m. to 12 noon, we're having Miss El Paso and all these wonderful guests there. So, you know, just follow us.
Make sure you announce that at our Friday at our lunch and learn, or have somebody to
plan
do
to
that
do
on
it.
your
Thank
on your
you, Nancy.
behalf. Absolutely. So
Yes.
you've been listening and watching to Juanita Gandara and Zoila the zebra and her little sidekick there. So join us next time as we begin to explore a little further into the wonderful world of entrepreneurship, where we offer tips and advice on how to build a sustainable business model that can fund the life of your dreams.
That's
For
right.
those of you who are already in business, we'll help you discover creative ways to grow your business. Tune in to learn how to avoid some of the most common pitfalls, and we'll be answering some of your most pressing entrepreneurial questions. If you have some questions you'd like for us to answer, or for me to ask some of our entrepreneurs, you can text those in to 850-499-7149. That's 850-499-7149, and we'll answer them on an upcoming show.
Yes.
So you've been listening to Nancy Gaskins, Who Wants to Be an Entrepreneur? We believe the best way to do that is own and operate your own business. So come join our tribe. Thank you again, Juanita and Zoila.
Thank you, Nancy.
Have a great week.
You too.